What is up, folks? We're back. It's Mess and Brett FX here for the CEVO 5v5 Domination Playoffs. It's Battlefield 4. We are here with Lights Out against Fuerzas, Armadas, Virtuales, and a little bit of a format change for the CEVO playoffs. Why don't you tell them about it, Brett?
Yeah, absolutely. So the format is going to be a lot different. Not a little different, a lot different from what we played. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit more reminiscent of what we've seen over into the ESL series, with the a little bit like what the EMS won. A couple of their cups we've seen it in. So it's going to be best of three.
Three maps,
this time, that's right, best of three maps. We have lowered the ticket count from 250 tickets to now 200 tickets, and now it basically the first map is going to be predetermined, and then the loser of that first map will then choose the next one. And then if they win, then obviously the team that lost on that one will choose the next one, the map that will go to a third. This is not going to be based on tickets. This is going to be based on maps. The ticket count is only going to come into play determining who wins the particular map. So you're not going to be seeing scores of 150 to 160. You're going to be seeing scores like 1-2, 2-0. And well, that's actually the only scores you'll ever see. But anyways, that's what you guys are going to be seeing. So it's a little bit different in the scoring system. We're going to be having a lot longer matches, and it's going to mix it up a little bit. We're not going to be stuck with just one map. We're going to have a variety of maps that we're going to get to play. And like I said, with it being at 200 tickets, the games are going to go a lot faster.
Yeah, that's a great point, Brett. And again, it is aggregate ticket count for each map. So whoever wins overall tickets for each map will move on to the next round. And of course, as he said, the loser of the first map chooses the second map, and I believe also gets side choice. So that's a big play as well. And then potentially, if we need a tiebreaker, the loser of that will do the same. So it'll be interesting to see what the losing teams tonight decide to pick. I was speculating with Brett earlier. I was thinking we'd see a lot of maybe Lockers and Dawnbreaker, since that's kind of the two bread and butter maps in the domination team. Would you agree with that, Brett, or am I off base?
I would imagine that you're going to be seeing Lockers, Dawnbreaker, Parasail Storm.
Parasail Storm, yeah. A lot of teams favor that map. It's kind of a little bit different.
It's pretty surprising. There's also going to be a few that's going to be picking Zavod. Zavod is one of those weird maps. It's like you either love it or you hate it. There's no really in between on it.
I like it.
And I could definitely agree. It's not my favorite map to play. It's weird. I love watching matches and casting matches on that map. It's one of my favorites, especially for 10s. But playing it, I hate playing that map. I loathe that map. It is so bad.
There are a lot of maps.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad map. It's just bad for me. It doesn't fit my playstyle. So we're gonna have probably a few of those like that tonight. But I do know that if Lights Out loses this match, they will be picking for their map. Or if they lose this first map, they will be picking Lockers. So I do know that for
inside information. So I wasn't completely off base on that. So yeah, as Brett pointed out, this first match will be Lights Out versus Fuerzas Armadas. And in the 9 p.m. slot, we've got V2 Ghosts against Axolot Gaming. So
V2 Actual.
Oh, it's V2 Actual.
V2 Actual.
Oh, excuse me. So the schedule is wrong there, folks. I apologize. It does say V2 Ghosts, but it will be V2 Actual. They do have two teams in this tournament. I'm not sure if Ghost actually made playoffs. Was it Actual the only V2 team that made playoffs?
I'm pretty sure V2 Actual is the only one that made playoffs.
Gotcha. So my mistake there, but we will see that match in the 9 p.m. slot. And, hopefully this match won't be delayed too much, but it'll be interesting to see if we go to a third map, if it carries into that second hour of gameplay, as we've seen previous matches end in the 20 to 30 minute mark. Typically, if it's been a close game, you may push it to maybe 40 minutes, but in general, 20 to 30 minutes about average for a BF4 match previously. So now we've got the best of 3 format. We'll see at least 2 maps, possibly 3, so really exciting change. And again, I think this is the format that they're highly considering, assuming it goes well here in the playoffs, for the subsequent season after this tournament is concluded.
Yeah, and it would be really good for the season, honestly. It's a little bit irritating, I would imagine, for a team to practice, 3-4 days on a particular map. And even if it's a close game, you're only looking at like a half hour.
Yeah.
So it's kind of frustrating, because we're used to Battlefield 3, where a half an hour was almost one round in and of itself.
Right.
And now we're cutting that down quite a bit. So yeah, it's giving these teams a little bit more opportunity to play, to play in that match type setting. And honestly, I like the fact that they have to practice more than just one map. It keeps it from getting really stale. One of the problems that, in my opinion, anyways, that was wrong with Battlefield 3 was the fact that it was really stale to start scrimming. The teams that knew how the maps were played, they didn't scrim so much because they already knew. Well, it's bizarre. I already know how to play it. I'm not going to be grinding that out. And then the new teams coming in that had to learn those maps didn't have a chance because nobody wanted to scrim them.
Right. Yeah, that's an extremely good point, as we will be seeing all the teams tonight start off on Siege of Shanghai. And that was, curiously enough, it was actually the last round of the regular season. So a lot of teams are going to be pretty polished on this map, having scrimmed it extensively for the previous round, trying to build some momentum going into the playoffs, and then able to turn that momentum over onto a familiar map that they're experienced on to start the playoffs. So
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of gameplay we'll see on this map, given that the teams had a lot of time to scrim it for 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this is going to be live, guys, here in about 50 seconds. We will be getting this underway. One of the most curious things that we have to talk about on this particular matchup, if you're looking at the top-down view, B flag's already taken. And that's one of the strangest things about this map, is that when the Chinese team spawns in, they already have B flag. And what that allows them to do is a lot of things. They can push C really hard, go for a very fast triple cap while only sending 1 to A. And honestly, the thing is that since we do have the rooftop play still active, I could see teams, basically just dumping A, send a guy out there, one person, cap it, overrun C flag, cap that with your 4 guys, get a guy up on the rooftop, and then dump A. Let them have A and just control CB the whole entire map. I don't know if we're going to be seeing that, but that is definitely a possibility if you can control those rooftops. And here we go.
Yes, we are about to go live. Sorry, guys, I did crash out momentarily, but I'm getting right back in the server. Should be just a couple of seconds. Brett, tell them about the breakout until we get in there.
Yeah, so curiously enough, we did not see a very heavy push over there to C. In fact, Lights Out is going to be trying to hold on to just A and B flag by themselves. They ended up sending 3 players over there towards Statue, and there is going to be a one-on-one that was happening over there towards Crates, and it looks like General Abbey was able to come out on top in that exchange. Does end up getting taken down by Kidney Stones a little bit later, but it looks like FAV having a little bit of trouble getting up onto B right now. They're kind of stuck over there onto that C side of the map, not really able to bust out too much. We will be seeing a 4-man push now over there onto B flag. So this is very dangerous, as we're seeing Lights Out already getting some back spawns over here next to C. And it looks like we're just going to be flipping these flags, which is exactly what's happening. C is now going to be in the possession of Lights Out with only Kidney Stones. And we did get 1 spawn back on at the last second. And Supreme going to be back over here to A to help seal the deal. So this is going to be a very precarious situation for, I would say, Lights Out to be in, because they're going to have to kind of hold them off on multiple fronts, as opposed to just creating a line in the map, cutting it in half. So it's going to be a little bit difficult, I would say. But it seems like right now, with the way they're fragging, it doesn't even matter where they're positioning at, especially with Kidney Stones going 4-0 right now.
Yeah, great start by Lights Out. Nice breakout. A bit of an unorthodox hold to start things when they took A and C, but now we do see FAV in control of Bravo and Charlie, but already Leo, Jack, and Elegy on the point, taking it back. We're watching from Elegy's perspective. He's got one behind him. He sees him there, taking some cover behind the trash can. Oh, is he going to take him out? They're spawning on him. Synergy Cool takes him down. He's got a nade right on him. Goes through the window, drops. He's going to drop a health pack for himself, try to heal up, maintain control of Charlie. And this is a bit of an unorthodox hold. He's playing some possum behind the racks there. He knows there's a couple of guys above him. That's Synergy Cool, who does go down. Watch from his perspective.
Yeah, FAV, they got to do something different here. I mean, they just tried to make a 2-man push onto C flag and got completely wiped. Elegy doing a beast job of holding on there, able to get a couple of picks for himself. But, right now, FAV, they're not able to get onto a flag. They are in a triple cap situation right now. Their tickets are very, very fastly dwindling away. It's 149 to 185 at the moment. And honestly, Lights Out are all over them. We're going to be seeing Frosty here with a back rage here in just a second. And he's only 4-3 right now, but he should be able to get a couple of picks off. And there's one. He's going to be able to cause a lot of damage.
There's a second. That's a great observation, Brett. Frosty with the... They still don't realize he's behind him. Oh, Compressor with a nice 180 does finally take down that back rage by Frosty. When you switch over to LG's perspective, going up the Eskies above Arcade C Flag. He knows they're over there across from him. It's like he's going to take down potentially one, maybe two of them. Let's see what he does. Got some nades out, some gunshots out. He's not able to take anyone out. He had the high ground. I'm kind of surprised there. Thought LG would do a bit more as he nades himself. A bit of a blooper there. Let's switch over to Metroid, who is on the Alpha flag. He's going to take control of that. So Charlie is also nuked. It looks like perhaps Lights Out going to take re-control of that, and we'll see a BC hold for Lights Out here early in the game.
No, we're going to be seeing a triple cap right here for Lights Out, as Jack was doing a great job of getting a nice two-piece over there onto that A flag. So FAV just not able to do anything at all, and it's really just coming down to the fact that they can't get any kills going on. I mean, they have nobody that's above 5 frags right now, while we have over on the Lights Out side, we got 7-1, 8-4, 6-4. So they're able to win a little bit more of their one-on-one fights, and that's really showing out here from FAV, as they're just not managing to get any positional advantage on Lights Out.
Yeah, it's a great point, Brett. You know, we talk about how sometimes people consider this game mode TDM with flags. It's not necessarily always the case, but when you get to this upper level, the playoffs, you're going to have to go toe-to-toe on the frag front. You've got to be able to slay with these guys, because if they just roll over you in the frag department, you're not going to be able to win the merry-go-round burn on these guys. As we are watching from General Abby's perspective on FAV, he's trying to take Bravo, and Bravo is kind of that crucial linchpin point on this map. You pretty much want to maintain control of it at all times, and then kind of rotate your focus between Alpha and Charlie, depending on what is going on at the time.
Yeah, and let's see if Abby is going to... No, gets taken down onto B flag, so it does look like Lights Out should be having an easy time of burning that down, as well as getting some back spawns over there onto that A flag. So we're going to be seeing them completely flip the map once again. They will be taking control of A and B and losing C in the process. So FAV, once again, just not able to hold that for too much long. I mean, it's 99 to 169. This is definitely not the position they want to be in, obviously. But the fact that this is going to be a best of 3 maps is going to give them a little bit of wiggle room here. They don't have to win this map, because once it's done, it's done. The tickets don't go over to the next one. So as long as they just kind of get the jitters out of their system, they're not out of this yet.
Yeah, that's a great point, Brett. This is a map that I think certainly would favor the frag-heavy teams. The flags are pretty close to each other. It's easy to rotate between two of them, and there's a lot of different angles to approach a flag, so it favors the frag-heavy. Whereas if they potentially pick a map like, say, maybe a Zavod or even a Paracel Storm that favors that merry-go-round flag-hopping gameplay, they might have a bit better chance there despite the frag disadvantage. So we're watching from Kidney Stone's perspective. Looks like he is going to make a push up onto Alpha. He's trying to keep an eye out. Oh, he sees one in front of him. The General Abbey does take him down. There's one. It looks like 2 more back there, and they've got a nice pincer move. Do Lights Out. Looks like Kidney Stone's going to come outside the window on the right side. Can he take him out from behind? There's 2 of them there. He's got a back rage here. That's 1 down. That's 2 down. Can he get the third? I think there's a third one there. Perhaps not. Nope. He's cleaning it up, and they do take control of Alpha and Charlie.
That's one of the differences right now between this Lights Out team and FAV, is that Lights Out have been consistently getting back rages on. I mean, you just saw the one right there from Kidney Stones. Frosty was doing a really good job earlier, getting some nice back rages going on. And when you can do that consistently, it forces the team to constantly watch their back, and they're not able really to focus on setting up and getting that line going on, because they don't know, hey, did somebody get behind us? Are we sure there's not somebody there? And we are going to be seeing from Supreme now. So Lights Out, once again, keeping up with this back raging strategy, is going to be able to take out Synergy, and now he's going to be able to get on the A, and we're going to be seeing another 3-cap in favor of Lights Out.
And Lights Out just completely winning on all fronts at this point. Both the one-on-one battles, the frag front, and the strategy with the back rage is really paying off for them thus far, as they do have a triple cap. We'll see. Finally, FAV Kraka's taking control of Charlie on his lonesome, dropping out a nade into the showroom. He drops out another. Mini's coming out strong, and he's going to fall back here. FAV is looking definitely on the back foot. They're already down by over 100 tickets and moving into round 2 of this map. It's not looking like they're going to have a good chance of winning this. At this point, Brett, do you start thinking about the next map, or do you give it a go. Do you think you have a chance of winning this one?
No, you don't start thinking about the next map. What you do right now is you start thinking about, on the fly, where do you start making those changes? And I think one of the big changes that we need to be seeing from FAV right now is get somebody up on that rooftop. They could have done so much damage right now if they just had one guy up on top of the rooftop to create a spawn point and to start getting some of these top-down shots over here into crates. Right now, LEG just got taken out, or Kidney Stones got taken out. So where they were before, that could have easily been suppressed by somebody sitting up on top of the roofs, as well as dropping players down back behind onto C-Flag. So I think right now, FAV, if they can't win those gunfights, they need to start getting in better positioning.
Yeah, that's a great point. Perhaps the roof is the great equalizer on a map like this where it's obvious that they are not going to win those one-on-one battles. They simply just do not have the slaying power. But using that positioning, perhaps have a guy just stay up there and be a mobile spawn beacon, as you said, not going down and playing conservatively and allowing his teammates to be a bit more aggressive is the play to move. But it doesn't look like they're going to do that right now. We just see most of them spawning backside of C. Perhaps Lights Out doesn't see him coming. This is a chance for them to make a calculated push, but they're actually a little spread out. They seem to be in a bit of a formation of if they've already held the flags rather than taking one, which needs to be kind of a calculated approach from different angles. And they just don't seem to have a good game plan for taking a flag back from these superior fraggers.
Yeah, it's going to be hurting them. And right now, we only have one player that's actually completely, I guess you could say, even with his skills right now. That's going to be Krakas. With 11 and 11, so it's really, really hurting him not being able to get those frags. His Lights Out, Jack is 18 and 7 right, or 18 and 5 right now. So he's definitely going big for his team, as well as Elegy, who is a new pickup. If you guys are wondering why he's got XTS tags on, he is a new pickup for Exertus. So he's going to be finishing out this season with Lights Out, and he's going to be getting back onto Exertus after the season is over with. So if you are kind of wondering why Exertus has a player playing for Lights Out, that's why.
He is actually 1 foot out the door, as Brett said, as we do see a 138-ticket victory for Lights Out, moving into the second round of this first map on Shanghai. Looking like Lights Out most likely going to cruise to a victory on this map, forcing FAV to pick a map for the second map of this match. And I'm not sure. Do you think I'm on the right speculation there, Brett, with FAV picking a map like perhaps Zavod or Paracel to favor the kind of flag hopping scenario?
You know what? Right now, I don't know what map would be good for them because they have not. Well, no. I mean, we've seen them playing on multiple maps. We saw them playing against XDS EU, and I've also seen them play again against Exertus EU for another tournament, and the maps that they play, they just seem to not have that fragging power under their belt on any team that they play against. But the one thing that they did really, really well was move around the map a lot. And now I don't know if that's because they're doing a lot of random spawns, or if they're just keeping mobile the entire time. I'm not really sure, but we'll see what happens. I mean, again, we're going to be seeing FAV with the better breakout. Okay, so they're going to be able to take B right away. And they're also going to be... Actually, why isn't B being capped right now? That is strange.
Yeah.
Okay, so B is not being capped, even though we've seen 5 players
from
FAV all
right
in.
on the radius, perhaps above.
Yeah, but anyways, they'll be able to cap B. They'll be able to just basically stick one guy down into A, and they can hard push C flag with up to 4 players and try and get an early 3 cap and just bleed those tickets down as much as they possibly can. One of the things that if you can't get your frags, just get on flags. It kind of sucks, but just get on as many flags as you possibly can, instead of just trying to gun with the other team. So okay, this isn't going to happen. We'll just try and outrun you.
And it looks like perhaps they realized that the flag was not capping for some reason and graciously restarting it. That's my guess, since we can't see what they're actually talking about. Yeah,
so it probably... I don't know if this is true, but I would imagine... First thought that came to my mind was the fact that they didn't capture B, so they're like, hey, we want to switch it, but...
Yeah, please fix this.
I don't know.
So once again, folks, this is the CEVO 5v5 Battlefield 4 Beta Cup. 5v5 domination, obviously. We are in the playoffs now. It's the round of 30 bracket double elimination in this case. We're in the first round of the playoffs for the Lights Out Fuerzas Armadas match. Second round of the first map here on Siege of Shanghai. Lights Out in the lead by, I believe, 138 tickets. So So we'll see if FAV can respond here in round 2, or will they need to perhaps get a win on map 2 to force a tiebreaker. Oh, and we're on Dawnbreaker. Looks like they'll need to switch the map.
Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly why we are on Dawnbreaker.
Do you think maybe they conceded the round?
I don't think so. I am reading the rules here for just a second because I think what is going on is that they're thinking that it's going to be one side on one map.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that is the confusion.
Probably need to clarify that, because if I'm correct, that is not the case, right? It is still 2 rounds on each map. Here we do have a map switch, so maybe they figured it out.
So that's exactly what I was talking to Lights Out just now.
Okay.
And so yeah, that's exactly what they thought it was. They thought that you played only one map. Or one round on one map, and then whoever lost that one got to pick their next map. So we have gotten it fixed right now. And guys, if you do want to link to the rules, you can go check that out on the CEVO website, www.cevo.com. Go to Battlefield, go to Forums, and up at the top it will talk about the bracket rule sets that are going to be there. And it does say that we are going to be playing both sides, one map. So
that is correct. So we are about to get started here on the second round. Although, is this the correct sides? I think they need to switch, or do they need to switch it one more time? Nope, this is correct. And again, B not getting capped by FAV. I'm not really sure what is going on in that respect. Normally, FAV on the red Chinese side taking control of Bravo before the round countdown even concluded, because essentially they're on radius at spawn, or at least close to it. Perhaps they didn't take the right spawn. I think that's the case. Perhaps they don't know the spawn order in order to get on the radius like the other guys do. It doesn't seem like they do.
Well, honestly, it's completely random. So what I think it is that they just have a different spawn order that they're doing. You can spawn on your teammates, and you do spawn behind them when you do so. So if you turn around and they spawn on you, you will go further towards a certain flag or a certain area. So that may be what it is. They all turned around away from B flag as opposed to spawning on it. So they are going to be burning it down a little bit later, which isn't too bad. But that delay going into A, that is definitely not going to be good for them, as a Compressor just now getting onto that A burn to get that back for his team. Now we are going to be seeing 2 players pushing up into C flag at the moment, and they are not going to be living for too long whatsoever. So they're going to be playing very defensively, it looks like, on this AB setup right from the get-go.
Yeah, I think that's smart by FAV. They need to set up a line. They've got Alpha Bravo there down by 138 tickets, so they've got a tall order if they want to actually win this map. But it's not outside of the realm of possibility, as they are trying to set up a line here to push and hold Lights Out in this C flag. We're watching from General Abby's perspective. Kind of stays a little exposed, sitting on top of that as B is getting burned. It looks like we've got one at semi. It looks like that's Frosty. No, that's Supreme. He does go down to Abby, and there you have it. A nice defense, and they're actually going for the triple cap.
Yeah, once again, we have Frosty, who is playing that flanking role, which he has been in that last round, and he's going to be able to get around all the way to A flag. He was able to pick up 1 kill for his teammates to get them out of this triple cap. So that's going to be definitely helpful for them. And FAV, though, is going to have a little bit of trouble over onto B, as they now just got cleaned off of it completely. And so they did get a lead. FAV did get that lead, so let's see if they're actually going to put it to good use and be able to get out of this 2-cap burn.
Yeah, it was a nice breakout by FAV. Good job holding that burn for a decent amount of time to get themselves roughly a 20-ticket lead. But it looks like a nice response by Lights Out. Watch it from Elegy's perspective. That new pickup for Exertus. He's at the overturned flatbed, dropping a med pack. He's got to fall back. He's got his teammate Jack there. It looks like they're trying to make a push up onto Alpha. They do need to pick up a flag, as they are getting burned right now. Down by roughly 20 tickets. He's got a shot out. Takes down 1. Synergy cool. Can he take down Krakers? Gets him with the mini. That was a nice mini from Elegy there. Can't quite take out the second, and he does have to retreat. Meanwhile, C is being neutralized by Lights Out. They're going to take control of the BC hold and looking to set up a line here to hold FAV back in Alpha.
Yeah, they are going to be setting up a nice line right here. Elegy just holding on back there against waves of players. But we will be seeing a big, heavy push over there towards side streets right now, as Frosty is going to be pushing up through Statue. Kidney Stones is going to be pushing all the way around, trying to get some kind of a back rage going on. But you know what? Elegy is going to beat him there to the punch. He's already on the burn, able to get it nooched. And he's going to be fighting back and forth. We'll be able to take out Looters. And going for Compressor, as well as, can he make it a third with General Abby? No, he doesn't, but So you know, Abby does end up going down in a 3-cap situation for Lights Out. And yeah, so this is definitely not looking good for FAV. They got out ahead, but I don't think they got out in front of it too much. They needed to get at least another 30 to 40 tickets out ahead of it than what they were.
Yeah, Lights Out being patient. They realize they have a huge lead. They don't necessarily have to be too aggressive. They just can't get complacent in this second round in order to secure this first match. When you do see Krakus go down, Leo Jack 8-0 right now. Let's watch from his perspective. He is, what is he running with right now? It looks like he is using that L85, that DLC weapon, which is legal in CEVO. He's playing in front of the wall there. Takes down one with a headshot. That's Compressor. Playing right next to the showroom. He's basically keeping them at bay to hold on to Alpha and Bravo, keeping them into C, but he does see one. Has flanked behind his teammate. Synergy, cool, does not see him. Takes him out with a headshot from behind, and that L85 is just supremely accurate, Brett.
I like the way Jack is playing right now. He's staying in the center. He's just kind of bouncing back and forth from A and C, and he's able to get those long shots with that L85, which is just so beast right now.
It's a third headshot in a row.
Yeah, finally getting taken down. I believe he made it up to at least, what was that, 11-0 before he did end up getting taken down.
Beast
so
mode. Nice
nice job there on Jack. And yeah, so this Lights Out team right now is just bullying a FAV right now.
Yeah, really impressive performance by Lights Out. And it's interesting because I believe they were coming off of a loss in the last round, Brett, is that correct? But they're looking pretty strong here. You know, perhaps it was actually the gaming grids, I think, where we saw them lose. Getting my tournaments mixed up. But Lights Out is one of those teams that we've seen good things from them. Perhaps not quite that second top tier team yet. But doing a nice job against FAV thus far, holding this triple cap for quite some time. This has been the longest we've seen thus far of the map.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just FAV's just not able to do anything. And look at this, I like this. They wipe them over there onto that C side of the map, so Kidney Stones immediately is shifting down into A flag. He knows there's going to be random spawns back here, and he should be able to cause at least one. Yeah, he does end up trading out with Synergy, so they will be finally breaking out of this 3-cap and getting a flag of their own. But you know, honestly, at this point, I mean, look at this. You got a couple of their guys that are just going way negative. You can't be doing that. I mean, you gotta be winning some of these frag battles. I know I said that, you know, if you can't do it on frags, do it on positioning, but they're not even able to get anywhere on the map for positioning.
Yeah, you know, you would think that at some point you'd need to slow the game down if you're losing those frag battles and use teamwork to overwhelm the superior fraggers, perhaps, you know, calculated angles. Two guys, 2v1 and a guy from different flanks to be able to take them out and make some headway. They're just not able to capitalize, although they finally do have an AC hold, but this is not an advantageous hold, as we do see Frosty immediately responding over here to Alpha. He sees one out in front of him, going to use that head glitch. Perhaps take down Compressor. Oh, he cannot finish him off. He does go down. Compressor holding on strong. It's a nice play by him over there, but immediately we see Kidney Stones rotating. He takes down Compressor. Can he take down Looters? No, he cannot. Looters going to finish him off and get the revive, so a good play. Hanging on to A and C as, nope, we do see one from Lights Out. That's Jack with the shotgun and the L85 taking control of Charlie.
Yeah, you know, that's actually Looter's first kills right there on that A flag throughout the entire map. That's what is that, 6 minutes into the game and before he finally got some kills going on. So yeah, that's not very helpful.
Not a good sign.
But you know, yeah, and once again we're going to be seeing Lights Out with his Viking maneuver. Now Kidney Stones is going to be coming in from behind, and he's going to be able to get a pick and get onto that flag burn once again. They're just all over FAV right now. They honestly, right now, FAV just acts like they've never played this map before.
Yeah, it's really surprising because we've seen good things from them on other matches before. Notably, as you mentioned earlier, before this match against Exertus EU, they put up a pretty good performance against them on, I think it was Zabod. But, you know, here they're just looking extremely discombobulated. Lights Out looking extremely polished. Again, they have already won this map. They were ahead by 138 tickets from the previous round, so there's no chance for FAV to win this map. They need to start thinking about what they can do to try to turn things around on the second map. And we did hear that Brett said earlier that if Lights Out lost, they were going to pick, I believe it was Lockers. So it'll be interesting to see what FAV thinks they can actually recuperate on in the second map of this match.
Well, we already know what the next map is going to be because we saw him switch to it prematurely. It's going to be Dawnbreaker, which I do agree with because I have seen FAV play on Dawnbreaker, and it seems like they have a lot more control or an idea of how to play that map. That map they also played Exertus on, and they were able to. They by no means won against Exertus. I mean, Exertus EU right now is the top 8 team over there into Europe. So they weren't able to win, but they definitely held in there, I would say, for a good 50% of each of the halves before Xerxes was really able to make a stand on it and start burning those and grinding those tickets out of them. So FAV has a chance on Dawnbreaker to make something of it, and they have to. If they don't win this map, then it's over. Then the match is over.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. This is the best of 3 here in the playoffs for CEVO's 5v5 Domination Beta Cup. Lights out, taking map 1 comfortably here on CG Shanghai. It's the default map for this first round of the playoffs. FAV, as Brett said, will be picking Dawnbreaker for their map. They also get to choose sides, so perhaps that'll play into it a bit, but I don't think it's going to help them too much. As just, if you look at the stat line there, check 20-1.
Yeah.
Woo! Calm down, buddy. You are too hot right now.
When you have somebody that can go 21, I mean, that's just beast right there. And the way he was playing, that was very I love the way he was playing that. He was playing right there in the center between A and C, and he's just bouncing back and forth. He was okay, C's flashing. All right, I'm going to get a couple of headshots here. He bounced back over to A flag. He gets a couple of shots there. And he wasn't really trying to be super aggressive, but he was definitely being that anchor man. And you stated it earlier, B is kind of that pivot point. And that's what we saw Lights Out doing a lot of times. They were pivoting on that B flag, just kind of switching back and forth, back and forth. And what it ended up causing was FAV. They were random spawning across the map every single time, and they weren't able to get onto that flag as fast as they wanted to. So that was definitely a good game by Lights Out. Commanding game by Lights Out. So it's going to be a very, very hard map coming up.
Yeah, definitely. Their FAV has a tall order, has a bit of a task against them. I don't really know if they have it in them to overcome Lights Out at this point, as they look extremely polished. Just too much fragging power for them. But we will move on to Dawnbreaker, map 2 in this best of 3. Can Lights Out close it out in 2 maps in comfortable fashion, or will Fuerzas Armadas force a tiebreaker? Of course, after this match, we will have the V2 Actual versus Axolot Gaming match. It's another playoffs match. We do have a bunch of other playoffs matches hopefully going on tonight. Everybody getting their games played. It's a best of 30. Round of 30 double elimination playoffs tournament.
I sure hope we're not playing a best of 30.
Not best of 30. That would be crazy. It's a round of 30.
We're going to be here quite some time if it's a best of 30.
Hope you guys cleared your schedules. We'll have to be playing maps over and over because we don't even have 30 to choose from.
Oh, God. It would be brutal. But anyways, yeah, so we are going to be going on to Dawnbreaker here in just a second. I don't know if this is going to be live or not, but we can definitely treat it like it's live, as we're seeing both teams spawning in at the same time. And one thing that I would like to point out on this map, I always point it out on this map, is the fact that the Chinese team has a little bit of a dilemma. Do they push all 5 players up to A flag and try and slow push down into B to cap those 2 points, or do they push, one all the way back around through trench to try and go for that back rage onto C flag, with maybe one as a decoy onto B flag and then the rest up to A? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to find out which of these teams do, and it looks like we're going to be seeing 2 going down trench.
Oh, 3? Well, we got 2 trench and 1 highway. I don't think I've ever seen this breakout, Brett.
Yeah, this is a bit interesting, and so I really don't know if FAV must be very, very confident within the 2 players that they have going into A flag. It's going to be Compressor, as well as, I can't see who that is.
Looks like General Abby and Crack is pushing on. Oh, you're talking about the 2 taking the backside. It's Looters and Compressor.
Absolutely.
You're right.
But they are going to be able to cap C, and they need to hold on to A flag. It's going to be one player that's going to be Looters, who was by far their worst fragger in that last round, or in that last map.
He does go down to Elegy.
Now that could have been fatal, because here's the deal. AB is the strongest hold on this map. Everybody knows it. AB is the hold that you want. You can get a guy over there on the upper side, you can get 3 down into mid, and 1 over there onto that long A side, and it is basically game over. So FAV doing that may have just handed them this round.
Yeah, being overly aggressive, sending 3 people towards Charlie along highway, probably a huge mistake on the breakout, and giving Lights Out the upper hand as they quickly rotated, took control of the alpha flag, and now it is an easy AB hold for them, as you see a nice line. It's that diagonal setup that we see all the good teams employ on this map. Basically going to try to keep FAV pinned on the C flag and not even move. They won't have to. They'll just burn them down and take this map with ease because of their superior fragging power. We're going to watch from Supreme's perspective. He is playing that high side for Bravo, keeping an eye on both B and C. But there's a lot of action in the middle here as we're watching from Elegy. He's hanging out in the rugs area right there at the bridge. And I don't know, Brett, if you're FAV, which angle, where do you try to punch through this line?
If you're FAV, you have to get control of upper side. Get control of upper side. If they can get a guy up on upper side, that will clear it out completely. Once that happens, then that's when you start pushing mid. But as it is, you cannot make any headway on B flag if they have control of upper side with the AB hold. It's almost impossible with the angle that it's in. And you know, that's what we saw consistently in previous matches, is the fact that they were getting that cross shot on them just all day long. And the reason why I'm not saying to push upper or to push long A was because Kidney Stones over here has the best head glitch ever. I mean, on long A. You have to hit that
best spot in all of Battlefield 4.
You have to hit that with several nades as well as a coordinated push with another guy in order to open that up. And while you're all trying to coordinate that happening, you can get back range. So it's a very dangerous push over there onto that long A side, which it looks like FAV is going to try and do. They did end up taking out Kidney Stones, so Jack is going to be the only one that's going to be left up to do anything over here onto this B side. And now B is going to be taken because they did end up taking out the upper side area.
Yeah, it was a nice job actually getting that kill. And I think they're playing it smart here. They are taking Bravo, but meanwhile we do see Compressor with a spawn on him from Looters taking the backside towards Alpha, going to come up on the patio side. Let's see what they can do with this. This is a perfect chance for FAV to get back in this game as they're already trailing by 50 tickets after losing map 1. And surprisingly enough, he's just getting in that head glitch well, he was going to get in a head glitch position. He lets his two teammates spawn on him and take the flag, and now he's going to move down from upper side. See, this is just bad positioning from Compressor. He needs to get in that spot that Kidney Stones was in and watch that whole upper side. He could do it on his lonesome while his teammate fans out, and they're not doing that.
Yeah, it is going to be hurting him right now. He's going to be trying to make some headway over there by planners. He doesn't really know what he wants to do. As you're seeing him kind of bouncing back and forth between Bus and planners. He will be going on a one-on-one here in just a second with Supreme if he tries to push that. But they have lost B. They are holding strong into mid, though. They do have two players that are going to be holding on at mid. And it does look like one player, General Abbey, trying to make a push over there onto the upper side, did end up getting taken down. And that's going to be a huge loss right here as we're seeing two players from Lights Out start to push in on planners, and they may even make a play over here for A in just a second.
Yeah, I think Lights Out is supremely confident in their fragging superiority over FAV at this point, and they're going to go for that favorable AB hold and perhaps abandon C if they have to, but potentially go for the triple cap if they can pull it off, because I just think they, like I said, they're just confident right now. They're playing extremely well, playing off of each other, just out-fragging FAV in all departments. 9-1 for Frosty, going big for his team this time. Jack not quite so good as he did last round, only 6-4. Watch from Kidney Stone's perspective, he takes down Synergy with a nice hip fire there. Surprising actually seeing a hip fire kill, but he is using the L85. And there you have it. It's a triple cap from Lights Out. 172 to 101. Not looking good for FAV.
No, it is absolutely not looking good for FAV as they are just not able to get any traction going on whatsoever. General Abbey, though, playing a very, very slow game over here with Supreme, and he has to make something happen. Honestly, you cannot be sitting like that onto that upper side area, and he is going to be taken down right there by Supreme. So that was a good job on his part, knowing that he was going to get pressed there. But honestly, that they're just playing slow. As we're seeing them, they're not really coordinating the pushes too well. But we will be seeing them getting onto A finally, so they did leak one. But I mean, C is just right for the taking as we're seeing Kidney Stones. He's going to be able to jump on that here in just a second. Pulls out his shotgun, trying to get a long-range shot at over there at Krakus. I don't think he realized just how long of a shot that may have been, but they are not going to get C. I think that was a bad move on Lights Out to not go ahead and just jump down onto C flag, but they did end up winning the A fight.
It looks like they opted to rotate back towards Alpha instead, as we do see a heavy 5-man spawn on the street side, and we're going to see a heavy push by FAV into Bravo. We've got two of them there. It's General Abbey. They're nooching it as quickly as they can. He does go down. Now we're watching from Looter's perspective, trying to stay safe. Nades out. It looks like they have taken control of Bravo, but you got to think that Lights Out is going to respond quickly and come in. We're watching from Jack's perspective. Got a couple of nades out on him, looking for an opening, as they do have a good line set up right now, but kind of on the back foot, not quite in the optimum setup for this hole. You do see a double kill from Jack That's an, oh, and he finally goes down. I think that's Synergy Cool on the streets. Nice play.
Yeah, but he did get taken down by, what was that, Frosty,
That's Frosty.
I believe, who's been doing a very solid job this entire time.
13 and 3.
Yeah, he's been very, very good. And at the moment, you know, FAV, once again, not able to get any traction going on. Their positioning is just, it's bad. We're seeing a 4-man push over here towards B. One's going to be breaking off, going on to A flag. And they need somebody. Yeah, see, we're already going to be having some back spawns by lights out. That's something that you have to leave somebody back at C to defend against, and they're just not doing that. Abby is pushing way too far up. I don't know if he's going to be their safety guy. He's supposed to be their safety guy, but he's going to be pinched from two sides here in just a second as Jack is going to be pushing up onto those B stairs, and he does end up getting taken down, but C does get capped in the process, and once again, leaving those tickets out.
Yeah, another triple cap. And we saw Krakas, he took a long flank up the highway, and instead of taking Alpha, he opted to go on the high side of Bravo and finally take out Supreme. But I feel like there's no sense of urgency with Lights Out, or with FAV right now, as they are down by 100 tickets here in the first round of the second map. And again, if they don't win this map, it's go home. Well, not go home. They'll move it to the loser's bracket. Excuse me, it is double elimination, but they will not win this match. And Lights Out is looking to cruise to victory in this one, as Jack is actually pulled to the front of the leaderboard. Let's watch from his perspective. 14 and 6, still employing that L85, kind of hanging out at that head glitch gap position for Bravo. Moving in, and we see again a good line, a good setup for Lights Out.
Yes, we do, and it's very, like I said, it's curious to see FAV going for that C flag so heavily there off the break. I think that I think that maybe they just hadn't had the experience that they need to on this map to really know that, hey, that's not the one that you want to go to. Yeah, they're just making some really bad decisions here, and it's got to be just because of inexperience. I mean, we've seen glimpses of them doing really well against really good teams. So I think that once these guys get a few more matches and events underneath their belt, they'll be really good. They need to work on their fragging. Don't get me wrong there. I mean, right now, Krakas is the only one that's positive within their fragging. They're doing a lot better than they were in map 1.
Yeah, it's a good point, Brett. You know, it's a lot to be taken from this. It's really not a terrible performance, but we have seen much better from them against the, arguably better opposition, as Lights Out still maintaining roughly a 100 ticket lead here. 137 to 19, and that's probably going to do it for this first round. Although, no, we do see a back spawn. FAV trying to come into Alpha, and finally Compressor getting a kill there, taking up his teammate. They are going to get control of Alpha. It's going to be an AC hold, but that's not really optimum on this map, as we do see Lights Out quickly rotating to take Charlie completely wide open. Jack is down there, and it's going to be, I think, a CB hold for Lights Out to finish out in this first round of the second map.
Yeah, it's gonna be burning down right now. It's very, very fast. B flag is gonna be capped back for it. Lights Out. They ended up stopping that push over there down onto it. So it's gonna be 133, probably about 130 to 0 coming into the next round on Dawnbreaker. And honestly, when you're with 200 tickets and you're at 130, that's gonna be a very tall order to come back from. I don't see them being able to come back in the next round and win that. I have seen it happen, but I just don't think that FAV is the team to do it. Not tonight, anyways.
Yeah, tonight, perhaps just an off night for them. It doesn't seem to be their night as Lights Out. Clearly the superior team looking to move on to the second round of the playoffs. We will see at least one more round on this map. Could be a miracle win for FAV, but, really not likely at this point.
No.
And
well, right now though, honestly, if they can just burn those tickets down, they do have a chance to burn. If they can get 90 tickets, maybe to 95 or so, sub 100, it's going to help them out quite a bit. But as we're saying that, B is getting taken. They've lost 2 players over there onto upper side, and they can't spawn anymore. It's done. They've got the 3 players on there, and that's it. And there you go. There's the game. 115 to 0. So it's a little bit better than what I was predicting before with 130, and that does help. I mean, every ticket that you can drain down is just one more ticket that gives you a chance to come back in the next round, obviously to win. And we're actually seeing, I don't know if they dropped a player during that second round or not, but we did see one leaving. So I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully he's coming back. One guy going 2 and 12. That's Compressor. That's a rough round. Jack, once again, a nice round, 19 and 7. Not quite the beast mode round we saw on the previous map of Siege of Shanghai. So one more round here in this map match. It's looking like Lights Out going to take it comfortably. We'll move on to the second playoff match that we're going to be covering tonight. It's going to be V2 Actual against Axelet Gaming. Hopefully a good match there. Do we have any info on potentially any other match results tonight, Brett? Perhaps update on the bracket?
Yeah, so right now in the brackets, we do see Flot moving on, No Mercy moving on, Sounds Like a Plan moving on, Assault Team moving on, as well as Axiom Gaming moving on. And they are all in the round 2 winners bracket at the moment. Shaping up right now for matches for next week, we do have Bottom Frag versus Flot Gaming, so that should be a pretty good match right there. And something I do want to point out is that Flot originally had to play against Nexus SA. And Nexus SA has taken a break from Battlefield, so they dropped out of the tournament completely.
Wow.
Beforehand. So they are, basically the powerhouse of South America has stopped playing. So that's that right there. I don't know if that really speaks volumes about the game right now or what. But, it's sad to see that go. You really hope that your best teams are going to be sticking around because they really lead the charge for these other teams that are coming in that have to come in and play, It's just better competition overall if they stay. So I'm not mad at them for leaving, but I kind of wish they had have stayed, especially towards to finish out this tournament at least.
Yeah,
but I can definitely understand why they did. So Flot is going to get basically an easy win for the first round and going to be moving on. But we should be going live in this next round. Remember, it's 115 tickets that they have to win by. Now, as soon as we hit that 115 minute mark, 115 ticket mark, we will be leaving the server and moving on to our next match. So, guys, if you are wondering why we cut it early, that would be the reason. It's just time reasons. We do have another one starting up at 9 o'clock. So, but here we go live. Let's see what Lights Out is going to be doing over here onto this trench side. And yeah, it looks like they're actually going for that 3-2 push.
It looked like LG wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do.
And I don't
this is not live. This can't be live.
We're seeing people dying left and right. So, that's going to be the breakout, guys. What we're going to do is we're going to turn around. We're going to kill everybody.
We're going to run back and forth, team kill.
Confuse the other team. They're going to be like,
what?
Okay, that's cool.
These guys totally psyched us out, man. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, so it looks like we did see FAV. Looks like they are going to be subbing a player, or they have subbed a player. So we should be restarting again. Metroid is going to be coming in and playing for who is he playing for?
I'm not sure who they had in before him.
I don't recognize. But anyways, yeah, he is going to be subbing for him right now. We should be going live in just a few moments. But let me message him real quick. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what Lights Out is going to be doing on this next round. Whether they're going to be pushing hard through trench, if they're going to be sending 1-2 guys down trench, the rest of them up through A, or we're going to be seeing a 5-man push into A, slow push down, or a 4-man push into A with one going down into the B hallway area to push in. Oh my gosh, excuse me, guys. Oh man,
got some gas.
My supper is coming up, unfortunately. But anyways, because you didn't want to hear that.
Did it taste good on the way back? Did it taste as good as on the way up as it did on the way down?
I'd rather not think about it. But we are going to be going live on this restart right here, guys.
Getting the waves.
This round started right now at about 112. Why do I keep saying that? No, we're not doing it 112 minutes. That would just, man. It's been a long day, guys. It really has.
Indeed, but, it has been a long day for me. It feels like it should be Friday, but it's not, We still got 2 more days in the week, which sucks, but hey, we'll soldier through it.
But Monday is a holiday.
Oh, you're right. I don't think I have it off, though, you bastard.
Oh, see, you have to work for the government, broski. You get it off every time.
I need a government job, cushy government job. I go home at like 4 o'clock on a Friday and get days like, what is it, MLK Day? Is that what it is?
Wait a minute, I don't go to home at 4 o'clock on a Friday.
I'm just kidding. A little bit of hyperbole in there.
They've been screwing me over this whole time.
I work with the Department of Transportation sometimes, and we always joke that you don't call them after 4 p.m. on a Friday because they just won't be there.
There you go. I would believe that in some offices. But anywho's, we're about 15 seconds away. Mess, Do you think FAV has a chance?
I don't. I hate to say it, but
Oh.
they've just been completely outclassed in the 3 rounds up to this point, and I don't know if that Metroid X sub is going to be enough to get them over the hump. Maybe they'll make it a little bit more interesting in this round, but as far as winning it and forcing a tiebreaker, I don't think it's in the cards.
Yeah, and we are going to be seeing Lights Out doing that 5-man push into A, slow pushing down into B flag to try and get that cap as soon as they possibly can. But I am going to be rooting for FAV just because I root for underdogs.
FAV! FAV!
Well, not so much. But FAV, though, completely whipping out on reading that play. We're seeing General Abbey into trench right now, just kind of hanging out. He needs to be making a push or doing something because it's giving basically Lights Out a free range over here onto B flag as we're seeing Metroid going down onto that upper side area.
Oh, a nice double kill from Supreme with that Scar. And that's why, like you said, Brett, you cannot leave that upper side open. He's just doing damage from there.
Now B flag is going to be capped for Lights Out. General Abbey has a chance, but look at that. Elegy jumping down, getting that nice double kill, so good job there. Maybe one of the reasons why he did get picked up for Exertus. And now we are going to be seeing 2 more players pushing onto side streets, or I'm sorry, for highway for FAV, trying to make something happen. But they're stuck in the same position they were last round. This is exactly what we saw from Lights Out. We're going to be seeing 1 upper side, 3 of them play in mid, and then 1 over on long A. And this is like your dominant hold right here. And the only way the FAV is going to be able to get out of this is if they basically have a 5-man push onto B flag and just kill everything that's there. Or they can have a 2- to 3-man push onto long A and hope that they don't get back raged, which it does look like they are trying to get some kind of a push on long A right now. Or they could do a 1 or a 2-man push onto the upper side, try and get that frag, get that position up there, and then push onto the flag.
As we see 3 of FAV go down, so there goes that push. Only 1 man up. It is Metroid X, and it looks like he's actually switched to Sniper. It's in desperation mode now, as a 150 ticket lead from the previous round. They got smashed on the first map. They are definitely on their back foot and looking timid here against a much stronger Lights Out team.
Yeah, I don't agree with going to that recon class. I think that I know that some people say, oh, well, it's really powerful. Yeah, it's really powerful if you can get your shots, but as we're seeing here, they're not winning any of their frag battles. And if you can't even win with an automatic gun, then how do you expect to win with a sniper? I mean, I hate to sound cruel, but honestly, like, what's your logic behind it? And we are going to be seeing FAV finally going to be taking control of that upper side and making their way onto that B flag. It's like I was saying, though, making that big heavy push, trying to get control of it, but not leaving anybody back out to C flag. So now
the back
C's going to
spawns, killing them, just like you said, Brett. And they're not in a position to rotate to Alpha, so they're going to get isolated at Bravo. And we already see at least, kidney stones. Oh, he finally does go down. So a decent rotation back. But what I think this is going to do is going to open up Bravo, as it looks like a potential 3-on-1 for Lights Out to move in and take that flag. Although they're playing a little timid, they could have been a bit more aggressive at that point, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do have B flag. They have control of it, but oh my God, they have 4 players sitting in the backfield right now. This is just not good for them. I mean, they gave Lights Out basically B on a platter. They said, hey guys, here's the flag back. We didn't really want it to begin with. They left 4 players in the backfield, 2 of them being on upper side. I'm not really sure what the idea was behind that. I think, honestly, at this moment, they're just straight up desperation puppy mode. They're not playing the smartest. They're definitely losing a lot of their battles coming into it right now. They're managing to keep control of upper side, so they do have a little bit of hope to get B flag, as we're seeing an exchange right now onto B, where one of the players from FAV do end up going down, and it does look like Krakus was able to get the last frag there. So now B, still heavily contested, will be going into the favor of FAV. And with those reses going down, we're seeing 2 or 3 players getting picked back up onto B flag. Now, you guys may be asking, why are they even using paddles in this particular game right here? Just because they're so hard to use. Well, honestly, it's not tickets to save tickets. I mean, it does do that, but it's not really there to save tickets. It's for positioning. You want those players right there on that flag right now. And that's what being able to res is going to do. You don't have to wait for that spawn timer to come into play. You just get those reses right there and then, and get your team back up where they need to be. And some nice hip fire going on by Crackers, and an attempt at a knife. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. It would have been nice to see a knife going on.
Fail knife. Yeah, and it looks like FAV is flirting with that magic 115 number. If they do drop below 115, this match is over, and Lights Out will move on in the playoffs, forcing FAV into the losers bracket. And you got to think, if you're FAV, you got to be disappointed with this type of performance. Not to take anything away from Lights Out, they're certainly playing extremely well here, but not one of those, you know, upper tier, upper echelon teams like a, you know, Zertis NA, or perhaps probably the best team in the tournament right now in Epsilon.
Well, honestly, I would be disappointed if I was FAV in the performance tonight. I mean, any competitive team that is really serious about this would be disappointed with that performance right there. Getting out fragged at every which way, not able to really to get any kind of positioning on the board at all, and Lights Out really just manhandling them the whole entire time. So yeah, I hope that they're not happy with it, and I hope that they improve on it, because they do have the talent on their team. And now we are below that magic number of 115, so we are going to be done with this match, and we're going to be moving on to our next one, which should be starting here in just a few moments. So we're going to be shifting servers right now, and while we're doing that, I'm just going to let you know that Lights Out will now be moving on to the next round, and they have to face off against Epsilon.